back, baby. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the courtroom. Good to see you all. It's your boy, the Superpower Man of the Hour, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, the podcast that's running the nation, taking the nation by storm, The Verdict. Welcome back in. Good to see you all. It's been a while. Actually, one hasn't. I saw you last Friday, but nevertheless, you're here. You've made it. Congratulations. Come on in. Court is in session. Let's do this. So, today I will be doing another cross-examination. I forgot to mention last time I did one of these type of episodes for the podcast. I remember it being. I'm going to take one of these out because it's throwing me off for some reason. But I remember last time I did an episode like this. I forgot to mention that this episode has a name. I name or try to name different segments on the show that I'm going to introduce every week. You know, we got the one gotta go. You know, sooner or later, I'm going to take questions from the audience, and that'll be given its own segment name. And for now, since we're doing a review of something, we're going to call it cross-examination. Don't ask why. It just makes sense. I've watched a lot of crime shows. I've watched a lot of cop shows, and I love Law and Order. And I know that cross-examination is one of the things that they do. So that's what it's going to be. It's play on words. This whole show is a play on words. Get over it. All right. But yes, welcome back to another cross-examination. This time, we're going to be talking about and examining the most recent episodes of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. So episodes 3 and episodes 4. So when I last talked to you all about She-Hulk, and I apologize for the noise in the background if you can hear it. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but it's ridiculously hot where I'm at right now. And it might be ridiculously hot where you are, wherever you are right now. But it's ridiculously hot, so I need some fans. And that's what you hear from the back. Anyway, so here we go already. I don't know. So when I last talked to you all about She-Hulk, we had seen her, get her powers. We've seen her sort of try and maneuver in her life with the new powers that she has. And when we last saw her, when we last talked about her, she was taking on the case of Abomination from way back when in 2008, the Incredible Hulk movie. Same character, same guy, same actor. And so she's taking on this case. But at the end of that episode, we learned that, he broke out and he went to fight Wong and Shang-Chi at an underground fight club. And so in episode 3, we pick up right where we left off. She goes and she talks to, Blonsky, and she's like, "Did you break out?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did, but I didn't break out because I wanted to. Wong broke me out, right?" And so we find out that this is where we first see Wong. Shout out to Wong, Benedict Wong. Great dude, great actor. Love him as this character. Love him in this role. Good job, good stuff. But this is where we find out that, Wong essentially kidnapped, Abomination so that he could have a worthy opponent to become Sorcerer Supreme, because if you're following along, Wong is now the Sorcerer Supreme, not Doctor Strange. Won't get into that. Following along in the MCU, you know what I'm talking about. So he's like, "Yeah, I broke him out. I needed a worthy opponent to be Sorcerer Supreme, blah, blah, blah." Right? So Jennifer is like, "Okay, I need you to say this stuff in court so that I can get this dude parole." So we go through the whole motions and everything like that. So we come to the time where, it's his parole hearing, and, Jen's got all these material witnesses and yada yada, but Wong doesn't show up, right? And her whole thing is like, how does someone literally be anywhere in no time, have no sense of time, right? So finally Wong shows up through the little sling ring like he does. He testifies and all that stuff. And then later in the episode and in the hearing, Blonsky turns back into Abomination, right? Like willingly turns back into Abomination. Freaks out everybody. Freaks out, the officials overseeing his case and everything like that. And Jennifer's like, go back to being just regular Blonsky. And he's like, "Okay, fine, whatever." And so he does. And the whole thing with Wong taking, Abomination out of prison was that once, that whole battle was done, you remember, Abomination asked to go back to prison, right? He didn't, try and escape or break out or try and get sent somewhere else to, live out the rest of his sentence. He asked to go back to his cell. And that's the point that Jennifer really holds in on. So that's where we learn that, maybe this dude really is reformed. Um, and yeah, so that we see that happen in that episode, right? And also at the same time, Jennifer's frenemy, not necessarily friend, but her sort of frenemy from the other law firm, is dealing with uh, a shapeshifter who convinced him that he was dating Megan Thee Stallion. I forget the dude's name. I have the cast right here. But essentially, he goes through what is this dude's name? Oh my goodness. This dude's name isn't here. Why is he not on the cast? Anyway, um, he basically has to go through this whole trial, because he got scammed essentially by this Asgardian shapeshifter. And so Pug, played by the amazing Josh Agar, y'all know how much I love that dude. He's so awesome. Prometheus from Arrow, shout out. So Josh Agara, Pug, takes on his case to try and get him his money back and all that stuff. And we get a Megan Thee Stallion appearance, like actual Megan Thee Stallion is in this episode. So that's the B plot of the show of that episode. And yeah, so Abomination gets his parole. He's cleared, and if he turns back into Abomination at any point any point while on parole, he's going to be arrested immediately. All that good stuff. So Jennifer wins the case. Hooray! Right. So that was episode 3. I forget what the post-credit scene. Oh, I know what the post-credit scene was. Megan Thee Stallion and She-Hulk were twerking in She-Hulk's office. That's all I have to say about that. So yeah, that's that. And then we transition into episode 4, and I'm blanking on where we picked up, but so we start episode 4 at this magic act of this dude named Donnie Blaze, which is too similar to Johnny Blaze. If you don't know who Johnny Blaze is, that's the alter ego of Ghost Rider, or one of them. He is one of the Ghost Riders from Marvel Comics. But Donnie Blaze is this, second-rate, cut-rate, magician who is sort of biting off of the style of the mystic arts, and Wong has a problem with this. This is another Wong episode. And so Wong has a problem with this, so he goes to Jennifer for help, right? Oh, snap. I forgot to rank episode 3. Actually, I'll hold off on the rankings because I want to explain myself. So I'm just going to summarize and then, it's whatever. Oh, and this is kind of, I've already gone deep into spoilers. So I'll put a warning at the end or at the beginning of this video because I just jumped right into spoilers and stuff like that. So I apologize for those of you who haven't seen the episode. Spoilers. Now you know. My bad. So episode 4. Wong is upset. This dude is biting off, the mystic arts. So he goes to Jennifer for help and is like, yo, I need you to handle this legally. And Jennifer's like, well, you deal in metaphysical stuff and all that. And because you're saying all this and you don't have any of this in paper and like actual, material, I can't do anything in the American law system. Right. So then they approach Donnie Blaze, and I don't know the name of the actor who plays Donnie Blaze. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. But they approach him and his sort of hype man person with a cease and desist, and they're like, "Yeah, whatever. We don't care. We're going to continue to do this anyway." They take it to court, right, for a little bit, and the judge is like, "I still have to, I got to ponder my decision about all this and stuff like that. So you can continue to do your magic act while I'm figuring out my decision." And so essentially. And there was this one drunk lady who was a material witness for Jennifer and Wong that was, a participant in the magic act of Donnie Blaze. She was pretty funny. The stuff that she was doing and, the back and forth and the interaction between her and Wong, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So that happens. And so then we follow She-Hulk and Jennifer as, she's trying to figure out this dating life. She's dating in her 30s and, she comments on that. She breaks the fourth wall to tell us all about that, yada, yada. And so she's really basically realizing that she can't really get that many matches, Tinder, swipe, dating app type, right? She can't get that many matches. I don't know what is going on with me today. She can't get that many matches as Jennifer. but she can get a ton as She-Hulk. So she does, and she tries. At first, she didn't want to. She does anyway. So she goes and she, makes a profile of She-Hulk, gets a ton of matches, and then she realizes that people only want to see She-Hulks, right? So she, if you've seen the trailers, you know the episode I'm talking about where she's dating and all that stuff. And then she takes the dude home and picks him up and carries him to the bedroom, yada yada, right? So as that date is happening, Wong interrupts that date to go to Jen and be like, "Yo, I need your help. This idiot messes things up again, and I need your help to fix it." So Jennifer's like, "Okay." Now what had happened was Donnie Blaze got out of control with the sling ring, right? And these demons from some demon world started to come through and attack all the people at his magic act and all that stuff, right? So Wong and Jennifer, they handle that. They clap them, easy work, right? Once they're done, Wong sling rings Jennifer back into her apartment right on top of it. Very sexual, very sexual. And so yeah, but then in the morning when Jennifer just regular Jen, the dude realizes and was like, "I'm out, peace out," right? And then the episode ends with Jennifer being served papers or being served a lawsuit. I don't know what the correct term is, but Titania has been free and cleared of all charges and is now out of prison and is suing Jennifer over the name She-Hulk. And that's how episode 4 ends. And we do get a post-credit scene. And the post-credit scene is the drunk girl, whose name is Madison. 2 M's, 1 Y, but not where you think. If you've seen the episode, then you know. Anyway, she was funny. But yeah, that's the post-credit scene. It's just her and Wong watching shows. So yeah, I'm gonna give episode 3. I'm gonna give episode 3. 3 out of 5 judges mallets. The little gavel things. I don't know if I explained this last review episode either, but my ranking system is based on gavels. It's out of 5 gavels because if you've ever watched Judge Judy or something like that, the little thing I'm sure I did this motion last episode. I'm positive. Anyway, I'm gonna give episode 3 out of 5 gavels. And I'm going to give episode 4 2 out of 5 gavels. So now let's talk about it. Let's talk about my rankings and why I put them why. Episode 3 wasn't terrible. I just didn't like it as much as the other 2. And now in hindsight, I think I ranked episode 2 like a 3.5 out of 5. I probably could have bumped it to 3.75, even close to a 4, looking back on it. But I'm gonna be very honest. I'm always honest with y'all, with my audience, with my people. I'm struggling to enjoy the show. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the first 2 episodes had Mark Ruffalo and these last 2 episodes didn't. And I don't want that to be the reason because obviously that's, how that plays in today's society, right? But there's a lot of wokeness in it, which wokeness isn't bad for me. I know some people are like, yeah, no wokeness, we get it. I'm not like, but there is a point where the wokeness becomes a problem if it's hindering me from liking said media, which is why I don't mess with rom-coms that much. If you know me, there are 2 genres of movies that I absolutely despise, cannot stand. Horror, romantic comedies. Those 2 I cannot stand. And sometimes horror, it's because I'm a little chicken and it's too scary for me. I don't care. I don't care how that plays. To each their own. Okay. Other times it's just because it's not scary, and the whole point of horror is to be scary. And I know what you're thinking. Well, if it's not scary, shouldn't you like it? You may have a point, but still, if it's not scary, I'm not gonna like it. I.e., the 3rd Conjuring movie wasn't scary, didn't like it. Also, if it's stupid horror, like bruh, if you don't get up and run away, like come on, What are you doing? Honestly, it's a doll. It's Chucky. If you don't kick him down the steps, anywho, uh, so yeah, those are the two. But let's say they're here nor there. We're not talking about that. I think the show is getting progressively worse. I don't know if it'll get better before it gets more worse, but right now I'm in a state of mind where each episode has gotten worse as we've gone along. Episode 1 is the best episode in the series to me so far. Episode 4 is the worst episode in the series to me so far. It just didn't, it felt out of place. It felt like especially the subplot, I didn't really mess with. I didn't enjoy the Donnie Blaze story. I enjoyed Wong, but the other parts of the first 2 episodes that made me really like him, Pug, um, the lawyer frenemy from the other firm that Jennifer and Nikki have to deal with all the time, and the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, they weren't in the last 3 episodes. So, well, that's not true. They were in episode 3, but they weren't in this episode, episode 4. I was bored. I was just really bored throughout the entire episode. I wasn't as bored through episode 3, but I was just really bored throughout the entire duration of episode 4. And so I'm hoping, I trust Marvel. I trust Marvel more than I trust probably any, major studio making film and TV right now. So I trust them to, recorrect this and figure it out and make it better before it gets worse. However, at the steady rate that we're going, I'm not sure. This episode, this show might continue to down spiral for me personally, and I might not like it. Or it could pick up, within episode 5 or 6 and then have a really strong, last 3 episodes to end the series. I know I'm still waiting on Daredevil to show up. So once that happens, I think I will be, hooked right back in. But I don't know at this current rate if I'm going to be entertained until that happens. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep me entertained. Because right now I'm very bored and I'm a little disappointed in it. Because She-Hulk is a good character. I love the character of She-Hulk. I've read She-Hulk comic books, or I've read comic books that have She-Hulk in it and have her as a major player in said comic book. And she's a dope character. But right now, I can't really get behind it the way that I want to. And maybe that's just me. But I just feel like there's something severely lacking from the show right now. I don't know what it is, but I really hope Marvel figures it out so that I can enjoy it. Because I want to enjoy Marvel properties, I'm not someone who is like, who goes to see every Marvel thing and is like, that was great, because I know Dark Phoenix exists. I know the Fantastic Four movie from 2015 exists. I know basically any new age X-Men movie that isn't First Class or Days of Future Past, those exist. So I understand that Marvel has some duds. Dark World, Love and Thunder, we can talk about that at another date, but kind of a dud. In my opinion, Love and Thunder was. But, so Marvel has some duds, and then they have critical duds that weren't necessarily duds to the Marvel public and to the church of Marvel, but to the critics, idiots, they didn't think it was that great. It's just what it is. Marvel is continuously one of the most controversial movie franchises to date right now. You can make an argument that Star Wars is a little bit more controversial, especially with the new age stuff that they're doing, with the newer episodes, like 7 through, how many episodes are they now? 7 through 10, something like that. But I think for my money, Fast and Furious is the most controversial franchise of the 21st century. Yeah, for my money. Just because it's on, it's off, it's hot and cold, it's yes and no. Shout out Katy Perry. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. But anyway, that was my sort of all over the place review of She-Hulk. I apologize, but I mean, that's how I felt about the last 2 episodes. Kind of all over the place, and I didn't really mess with them like that. So that's my review of She-Hulk. Let me know what y'all thought of the last 2 episodes, episodes 3 and episodes 4. How do you rank them? What do you think about them? Are you looking forward to episode 5? Are you expecting more? Do you think it'll get better before it gets worse? Do you think it's totally fine the way it is? Or do you think each episode has been about the same? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Like this video, share this video. Look at me. Look at my eyeballs. There are these black things up here with no soul left in them. Yeah, me and you. Let's have a real conversation real quick. When I say share this podcast, I mean share the podcast. You understand me? Yeah, good. Just so that we're on the same page, okay? So like this podcast, share this podcast, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? All right, I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all so much for watching. Appreciate y'all coming in, hanging out with me in the courtroom for today. That is all for this episode. See y'all next week. We're out of here.